Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to skip the hype and get right to it. We're going to give you a real, practical blueprint for building your very first smart AI agent. Yeah, an intelligent system that you can actually create yourself. So, let's dive in.
Just think about that for a second. Imagine an assistant that doesn't just wait for your commands, but actually learns, maybe even anticipates what you need, and then takes action all on its own. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, it's not science fiction anymore. The tools to build this are here, right now, and we're going to walk you through how it all works.
So what exactly is an AI agent? This is the first stop on our journey. We need to understand what they are and why they're such a massive leap forward from the tech we're all used to.
Okay, to really get what makes an agent so special, let's just compare it to something we all know, a standard chatbot. You know the drill. You give it a prompt, you get a response. But an AI agent? Totally different ballgame. It has a memory, so it actually remembers your past conversations. It has goals that you can give it. And here's the kicker. It can take independent actions to achieve those goals. It doesn't just talk, it does.
And this isn't just some theory. I mean, think about a personal assistant that sees a meeting in your calendar and then, without you asking, checks the traffic, books you a ride, and even lets the other person know you're on your way. From automating complex data analysis to handling customer service before a problem even arises, these agents are already making a huge impact out in the real world.
So, the big question is, why now? What makes this moment so special? It's because the barrier to entry has just, well, completely collapsed. The libraries, the models, all the platforms, they're out there, they're accessible, making this the absolute perfect time for anyone, and I mean anyone, to jump in and start creating.
So how do you actually build one? Well, every great project starts with a great plan. In this next part, we're going to lay out the blueprint, the 3 key steps you absolutely have to take before you write even a single line of code.
We can break all the prep work down into 3 simple, manageable steps. First, you've got to set up your digital workshop, right? Your coding environment. Second, and this is so important, you define the mission. What is this agent for? And third, you figure out what information, what data your agent is going to need to actually pull it off.
You know, of all those steps, defining the mission is without a doubt the most important one. You can't just tell it, hey, be a helpful agent. It doesn't work that way. You have to be specific. Do you want it to schedule your meetings, analyze complex sales reports, or maybe summarize dense scientific papers? A crystal clear mission is your North Star for the entire project.
So what's in your creator's toolkit? Well, first up, a programming language like Python, which is pretty much the standard for anything AI. You'll need an IDE. You can just think of that as a superpowered text editor where you write your code. Then you'll lean on AI libraries like LangChain, which are amazing pre-built packages that handle a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And finally, APIs. These are like bridges that let your agent connect to other apps and data sources so it can take action in the real world.
All right, blueprint is in hand. Now it's time for the really fun part, actually building the agent's brain. We're going to put it together piece by piece, starting with its absolute core.
The foundation of any agent is what's called a large language model, or an LLM. This is the reasoning engine. It's the raw intelligence. And you've got choices here. You can plug into a super powerful model using an API, or you can use one of the incredible open source options that are out there.
Next up, we give it a memory. And honestly, this is what truly separates a dumb bot from a smart agent. When you give it memory, your agent can remember past interactions, it can hold on to context, and it can learn from your conversations. It stops asking you the same things over and over again and starts building a real understanding.
And finally, we give it hands. This is the ability to do things. By hooking your agent up to different tools and APIs, it can break out of that little chat window. Suddenly, it can search a database, send an email, check the weather. It can connect to almost any digital service you can think of. This is where your agent really gets its power. And here's just a little peek at what that looks like. Now, don't worry about the syntax. The code might look a little intimidating, but the ideas behind it are really simple. This first line is just telling the agent, hey, remember this interaction. And the second one is telling it to use a tool, like searching a database. See, you're just connecting those big ideas of memory and action using code.
So, you've built the brain. The agent is alive. But, you know, the creator's journey doesn't just stop there. Now we get to the final act, testing, refining, and looking ahead to the incredible future you can build.
Look, your first version is not going to be perfect. And honestly, that's the whole point. Building an agent is a cycle. You test it, you find the flaws, you go back and refine its instructions. And with every single loop, your creation gets a little smarter, a little more reliable, and a whole lot closer to what you first imagined.
And once you really nail the basics, that's when the frontier gets even more exciting. You can start building multi-agent systems where you have a whole team of specialized AIs working together. You can explore emotional intelligence. You can even create agents that are designed to improve themselves over time. We're really just scratching the surface of what's possible.
But as we wrap up, there's one last really important piece of this blueprint: the creator's ethos. When we build systems that are this powerful, we have to think about their impact. The best creators out there know that building thoughtfully and with a clear sense of purpose is just as critical as the code itself.
So there you have it. You have the foundational blueprint. The tools have never been more accessible and the path is laid out for you. The only question left is the one you see right here. What will you create?